Are you a wholesaler looking to sell more deals? Well, today I'm going to show you the easiest and the fastest way to find cash buyers. Now, before we get started, this is your first time here, my name is Estes. I'm a full-time real estate investor. I made millions of dollars all from my laptop, 100% virtually, and it's my goal to help 1,000 people create financial freedom. All right, let's get into it. What are the easiest and the fastest way to find true cash buyers when you're wholesaling? So finding cash buyers is really the key to this business, right? Now, obviously, if you're out there putting houses under contract and you can't find a cash buyer, you're just wasting a lot of time and a lot of energy. Not to mention all the money that you're wasting, right? So if you have employees, if you're spending money on marketing, a lot of money on programs, right? All these different softwares, and you can't actually end up selling the deals, you really end up spinning your wheels and you end up in a negative instead of a positive, right? If you're out there locking up deals and negotiating and spend all this time and you can't sell these, it's a recipe for disaster. So today I want to show you what I believe are the 5 best ways that I've seen in my business to actually sell deals, okay? To true, legit cash buyers that will come through and pay top dollar for your properties, okay? Now, after being in this business for, many years, 18 years in real estate and 5 years in wholesaling, I've talked to a lot of investors, hundreds if not thousands. And on average, in my experience, most wholesalers are only able to sell about 50% of their deals. That's a big number. That's a lot of work, a lot of resources spent on nothing. And if you can imagine, if you can just double your income just by being able to sell all your deals, that's a huge bottom line. So hopefully this is going to help you, this video, so you can really see what works and what doesn't, and my top 5. So I'm going to start with number 5 and work up to number 1 to actually the best way. All right, number 5 that I use in my business, once again, all these I use personally. Number 5 is Facebook, okay? Most everyone's familiar with Facebook and probably heard of this way, but there's a couple different things that you can do on Facebook, right? One of the best ways that I've found is obviously a Facebook marketplace, okay? So you can do marketplace, where essentially you're just listing this house out there on marketplace and trying to find investors that might be interested in it. Another thing you can do is like niche Facebook, niche real estate groups, okay? Now for these, you want to find groups that are near the property, okay? So pretty much every city across the country, you're gonna find these real estate investor groups. They're gonna say maybe, for instance, Miami Real Estate Investors or Miami Wholesale Properties or Miami Investor Network Group, right? There's gonna be all kinds of these different names. So whatever property that you're doing deals in, you wanna join those groups and list the properties in there, okay? You can specifically find really good buyers in those groups as well. So I would do both marketplace and these niche groups, okay? By doing this, you get more eyes on the properties, and it's almost like putting the property like on MLS, right? People get to see it and they'll contact you if they're interested. All right, number 4. Now, in this way here is another good way, but it's gonna cost a little bit out of your commissions, is to actually use realtors, okay? Realtors can help you sell your properties. This is their job. They're out there every single day, pounding the pavement and trying to find buyers for their properties. And the idea here is what you should be finding is realtors that work with investors, right? So if you look up on public records or, PropStream, Zillow, any of these sites, and you find properties that look like they've been flipped, right? Or they're looking to distress, those are realtors that are working with investors. So you're gonna wanna contact all these realtors and say, hey, I got this great deal. Would your buyers be interested in this? And obviously they work on commission, so you're gonna have to pay them a little bit of money, whatever you guys agree upon, maybe a flat fee or a couple percentage, right? For them finding the buyer for you, but they're also a great resource. Now, personally, in my company, we pull every single realtor in the vicinity of where the property is located and we contact every realtor. It's usually a few thousand realtors that we contact on every single property that we're selling. Now, obviously this takes work, it takes time to pull all this information and resources, but this is something that we personally do. If you're just starting, I would just focus on the realtors that you find that work with investors, okay? All right, number 3. Number 3 is really good, and you're finding true cash buyers, okay? You're going direct to the source. Now, there's a few different ways of doing this, okay? Now, if you're trying to find true cash buyers, what we're doing is we're looking for historical data, who has properties for cash in the past, okay? So we can do this a few different ways. One, you can use like PropStream. You go on PropStream, You can put like a radius around the property and filter by all the cash sales. You can put the city that the property is in. Same thing, a filter by cash sales, right? You want to look in the past year or so for single family houses, right? And that data that comes back, those are all going to be people who have purchased properties for cash. Now, what I do is I pull all this data, I skip trace it, I find the owner, get their phone number, and then we call and we text all these people, right? We do this for every single property. We try to pull at least 500 cash buyers for every property as well. So another thing you can do, if you don't have PropStream access, or in addition to that, you could also look right on the MLS. So if you are a realtor, or you have a relationship with a real estate agent, they can actually do this as well. They can actually look at the MLS and pull all the cash sales within the past year. You can do the same thing, take that information and skip trace those people, get their phone number and contact them, and same thing, tell them you have a deal and see if they might be interested in, okay? Actually going out and scraping, past data to find those true cash buyers is a great way. So number two is a software, InvestorLift. Now, InvestorLift, this is a paid software. It does cost some money, but in here you have access to pretty much all the same cash buyers, right? So it pulls data of every single person who has bought a house for cash. This is a great software. It does cost some money, but inside here, it does all this work for you, right? It pulls all this cash sales that you can get from the cash buyers, but it puts it all in one convenient place for you. It makes it a lot simpler and faster to contact these people. Some have phone numbers, some have emails already in there as well. So this is a great place to go, but once again, it does cost some money. Me personally, I'm actually a cartel member of InvestorLift. There's only 50 of those people in the country. We have to be doing over $1 million a year. So we have access to every single buyer in the country, which is over 4 million. Okay, so this is a great resource to have. So if you do have a little bit of a budget, you can at least get the base program InvestorLift, and it'll really help you start selling more properties. All right, so let's go on to number one, the best way to find cash buyers. All right, so number one way is Property Ally. Now, Property Ally, this is my company where I will personally do all this for you, okay? So we will handle all this for you, right? Plus we do much, much more. We'll put it on Facebook, we'll contact all the realtors, REO agents, all the cash buyers, the historical data, and all the buyers on our InvestorLift. So that's the first tier what we do, plus many other things, right? Plus we handle all this for you, and you don't have to spend money on doing this stuff, pulling all this data and calling and skip tracing and the softwares. You don't have to do any of that. We handle all this for you, and we pay all this out of pocket personally. And if we can't find a buyer, we're out this money and you don't pay a thing, okay? If we are able to, and we work out an arrangement of something that's fair for both of us, and we actually end up splitting that profit. We know that every single deal is different. So there are no set fees. We just come to an agreement on what we think is fair for that particular property. And if we're both happy with it, we'll move forward and we'll spend the money on the marketing for you. So you have zero out of pocket. You have zero risk. If we find a buyer, great. If we don't, there's no cost to you. So definitely go out to Property Ally. I would love to work with you and help you sell your next deal. So there it is, the top 5 ways to find cash buyers: Facebook, Realtors, cash buyers, InvestorLift, and Property Ally. Now, once again, there are many more things that I personally do in my business to find cash buyers, but these are the top 5 that I have found. All right. So once again, if you like this video, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell so you get notified when I put out videos every single week. And I'd love to hear from you. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you have any questions, any concerns, I personally answer every single one. And if you haven't already, make sure you join my free Facebook group called Property Ally. Inside there, you can network with me, ask me questions. You can do deals with other members, and I do live trainings in there every single week. So hopefully I'll see you there, and I'll talk to you next time.